fueling up on fast food.
Nice to meet you.
A presidential delivery straight to the Oval Office.
This doesn't look staged, does it?
As Donald Trump blockades deliveries of oil through the Strait of Hormuz.
Go back to the Indian Ocean immediately.
As the blockade was coming into force, a moment of tension between US and Iranian warships.
This is Coalition Warship 121, engaged in transit passage in accordance with international law.
I'm ready to open fire on them without any warning.
The US president using military might to try to force an end to the 6-week war.
Right now we have a blockade. They're doing no business. I didn't like seeing boats come out. We can't let a country blackmail or extort the world.
The standoff in the Strait raising fears of the conflict reigniting. But Donald Trump's vice president insists the US still holds all the cards.
Two can play at that game, and if the Iranians are going to try to engage in economic terrorism, we're going to abide by a simple principle that no Iranian ships are getting out either.
But Tehran isn't talking peace. A massive show of unity in the capital, supporters urging the regime to stay in the fight.
If the security of our ports is threatened, no port in the Persian Gulf and the Sea of Oman will remain safe.
The dueling blockades have brought oil traffic to a virtual standstill, deepening the supply shock that's biting hard around the world.
A lot of work is required to reopen the Strait of Hormuz, to de-escalate the situation, leading to a sustainable ceasefire.
The US and Iran have reportedly agreed to a second round of face-to-face negotiations following those failed talks in Pakistan. New details have emerged on the key nuclear sticking point. US media are reporting that Iran offered to suspend uranium enrichment for 5 years, but the US wanted at least 20.
We've been called by the other side. They'd like to make a deal very badly.
If they avoid the unlawful demands and recognize our legitimate rights, I think that the negotiation be success.
A fragile truce surrounded by a war of words. Bridget Rollison, ABC News.
The US hasn't provided any details of where its warships are located, but this is what we know about the blockade so far. The US Navy is restricting access to all Iranian ports either side of the strait and has been ordered to intercept, divert or capture any vessel crossing without authorisation. US Central Command says it's still permitting safe passage of humanitarian ships of food and medical supplies, subject to inspection. And Donald Trump says NATO and the UK will join efforts to remove sea mines from the crucial shipping lane. Let's bring in ABC correspondent Tim Swanston, who's in Dubai. Tim, the US says it's stopping any unauthorised ships. At this stage, have any been boarded or turned around?
Yeah, as far as we know, Jez, not yet. There's still a lot of unknowns over this blockade and how it'll be carried out, but a notice to mariners last night suggested that there could be a limited grace window for ships leaving Iranian ports. Analysts say it's already having an impact. There's limited shipping traffic around the Iranian coastline, and that some ships that were bound for Iran have already begun turning back. There is scepticism, though, over how effective this will prove as leverage entering into potential further negotiations. Nevertheless, there are early reports that the US and Iran could return to negotiations in Pakistan by the end of the week.